Today on Faces K Radio Ohio, we're going to talk about assessing your child's progress towards meeting developmental goals. Their developmental goals, of course, were set by you as a result of the data, the information that you gleaned from the Ages and Stages questionnaire that you utilized to assess your child's progress across a series of developmental domains. As we talked about previously, development is zigzag at best, and not everyone progresses at the same rate at the same time. So it's really good to use that information to see like, oh, my child's doing really well in gross motor, those big muscle skills, so I don't need to really spend a lot of time on that. Their problem solving isn't quite where the tool says it should be. So let's maybe work on that area. So you were able to go into the platform and you were able to answer a series of questions in each of the domains, and then from there you could set goals. So like this seems like an appropriate time of year. We're in January to talk about goal setting. And you know, it's one thing to set goals. It's another thing to assess your progress towards meeting those goals. So when it comes to children's learning and their readiness for kindergarten, it's really important that we stay on top of this. So you've set those goals, and you really want to give it a little bit of time with the activities that you're implementing at home to see if there's been any change and any progress towards meeting whatever goal it is that you set. If again, remember, progress doesn't mean that you do an activity today and your child's going to get it tomorrow. Maybe they will, but maybe they won't, and that's okay. What we want to make sure is that we don't lose sight of the goals, and that we don't lose sight of the fact that progress may take a while. If we don't see progress, and I would say, if you're doing activities at home and you're really focusing on something, and 3 to 6 weeks from now you're not seeing any movement in that, well, there's a couple things. One, maybe your child's just not ready for that right now, and that's appropriate as well. However, it could very well be that with your extra effort and you're still not seeing any progress in a particular area, then maybe it's time to reach out to your pediatrician. Observation it's what we use in early childhood programs, and it's what you use at home to be the best gauge as to the progress that your child's making. I'll give a kind of a real life situation that kind of helps put all of this in perspective. Probably about a year or so ago, I just thought like my shoulder hurt, like I must have just be sleeping on it funny. We that's what we say to everything. Oh, I must have just slept on it funny. I must have just stepped off the curb funny. I must have just done lots of things funny. So I was like, but over time it didn't get better. Didn't get worse, but it didn't get better. So I was thinking, maybe I should check into that. So I went to a chiropractor. I'd never been to a chiropractor before. And I was thinking the whole time I was, listening to him and watching him, that what he did was exactly kind of like what we in early childhood always did, which was, ask a lot of questions. He had me, move my arm and see what, my range of motion was, what I could do. Then he said about making a few adjustments, moving some things around, and then gave me some exercises and some things that I should do at home, and then would have me come back every couple weeks. And with the exercises at home and with those adjustments every couple weeks, my range of motion got a lot better, and the soreness went away. And I haven't been to the chiropractor in, I don't know, 6 months or longer. all that to say is that kind of shows the cycle of how monitoring for progress kind of works, is that you kind of have something that is of concern. You're kind of thinking about, is this serious or not? Maybe I should kind of pay attention to it. I then, you pay attention to it, you try some things, you look to see over time if if it's getting better, if there's any progress being made. If there is, awesome. You go on to something else. If not, that's also awesome, because that means that there's an adjustment or an adaptation or potentially something else going on that you really probably shouldn't ignore, that you should pay attention to. So, like always, we're here to support you in your efforts to support your child. And if you need additional information or resources, you can go to www.thefaces.org. And we want to thank you for connecting with us on Faces K Radio Ohio.